6 9 girlfriend goes by Jade, or on Instagram, oh so you Jade? However, her real name is Rachel Watley. And she also has a sister who, funnily enough, has taken quite a big step back from the limelight in the past couple of years, so there's not as much info out there on her. But what we do know is that Jade's sister goes by the name Baddie G back when she did have Instagram, and her real name is Sarah Watley. And obviously it's this sister combo that is responsible for inspiring classic 6 9 lyrics about the twin sisters with double vibes. I mean, who do you think those badass actors baddies were on 6 9's arm when he first returned to IG Live after getting out of jail? Now, apparently these two matching baddies were both at the Angel Strip Club in Flushing, New York, and Lust, both New York clubs which 6 9 himself is known to frequent. But Jade and Baddie G were not strippers, as many have believed and suggested over the years. But even though they were bartenders, 6 9 didn't actually meet his girlfriend balling out at the club. Apparently 6 9 actually met Jade after following her bad little body on IG and hitting her up with an offer to come and shake something in one of his music videos.
So how we met, like, he wanted me to do the video Gotti. I flew to LA and I was gonna do the mama video. My sister out to do the mama video.
So 6 9 was feeling Jade's vibes and flew her and her sister Baddie G out to LA to be in the music video for the song Mama with Nicki Minaj and Kanye West. And Jade was actually seen hanging out in the car with 6 9 on the way to that video shoot.
Yellow soup. L-E-S-O-U-K.
Of course, now we know that the Mama music video ended up getting canned after somebody shot up the set. But hey, if it scores you some quality time with some high quality baddies, then it's all worth it, isn't it? In fact, if it'll get me a girlfriend, I'll take bullets from all angles. In fact, give me that 100-shot Young Dolph special. I'm so lonely. Anyway, Jade says that while she was in LA with 6 9 they caught a vibe and decided to go shopping together, where they apparently appeared to bond over a shared love of garish clothes.
Shopping around trying to find like the outfit, like his clothes for the video, and like I was like showing him like what to wear, like what I think would look fire in the video. Just quick.
So they immediately clicked and were joined at the hip like a 6-inch clip. And as the days went on, we began to see more and more of Jade on social media pages, particularly one night where Jade famously wore a green dress and got hammered with 6 9 in Los Angeles. According to Jade, that night they had been partying hard and ended up drinking 2 whole bottles of tequila. Eventually ending up in the studio with Scott Storch, where 6 had actually recorded TikTok.
We had a fucking turn-up ass night. We drank 2 bottles in 1942 that night. After the club, we went to Scott Storch's studio, and he was like playing TikTok or whatever, so we saw that we was lit.
That's the song, not the app that people use to groom themselves. So it turned out that 6 9 and Jade had recorded some and apparently when Jade saw that 6 9 had posted these clips to his page, she was a little bit nervous, but that was the moment that she knew that things were real between them. Because I guess that's how dating works.
The next day, he was like, yo, I got all these videos on the phone, and my phone, I'm watching them, and then he posted it, and I was like, yo, I was going crazy. I was like, delete it. He's like, no, I'm not doing that. And I was like, all right. After that was it. He was mine. He did mine.
So like the Lord of the Clout ring from that moment on, 6 9 was Jade. And a drunken 6 9 looked head over.
Please deposit 5 coins.
We're gonna have a boy.
We're
gonna have a boy.
5 coins.
Yeah.
What? I am very Oh no, 6 9 get it together! Anyway, from here, Jade and 6 9 were truly inseparable. And aside from the obvious perks of clout and money, Jade was getting more out of this relationship than immediately meets the eye. Because the formerly shy bartender found that after spending so much time with your boy 6 9 she finally discovered the wonders of not giving a shit what anybody thinks about.
Like after he posted the video, I used to care. Like I used to be like this person took it to me. Not give a fuck, like.
So with her newfound confidence, we would regularly see Jade twerking on 6 9's arm like some sort of oversized Richard Milley made of butt meat, and apparently even getting hot and heavy having sex in the back of their bulletproof trucker. Say what you want about dating 6 9, but he's always got protection. Anyway, things continue to get serious with 6 9 even debuting Jade on his Instagram Live, looking like the kind of girlfriend dating you would do with your classmates in the 9th grade. So at this point, these two were completely inseparable and nothing would keep them apart. You know, except for jail, that would actually keep them apart for over a bury it. In fact, it's kind of crazy if you consider the fact that the Mama video only took place at the start of November of 2018, with the reports of the shooting that broke up that video only coming out on the 9th of November. And by the 20th of November, 6ix9ine had been picked up on racketeering charges and thrown in the slammer where he would remain for over a year. So these two have quite literally only been broken up for a couple of weeks before he ended up in the feds. But to Jade's credit, she held him down, meeting him in the visit hall whilst he was still trying to get a handle on the situation, posting other images from visits she'd made to him with supportive captions, and leaking dirty phone calls between the two.
I love you, Rachel.
How much? How much? How much?
Enough to fuck.
Oh, how romantic. Now, in exchange for her loyalty and support, despite only knowing this skittle-headed snitch for a few months, 6ix9ine bought her a G-Wagon for a Christmas present while he was still in jail.
Nah, you got a fucking G-Wagon, sis? That box is fire!
Yes, that box must be truly fuego. She of course showed her commitment to her boyfriend with these truly dreadful 6ix9ine tattoos. Though to be fair, if a hot girl out there wants to get a Capital Ross tattoo, I'm just gonna marry her straight away, no cap. But the support didn't even stop there as Jade continued to 6ix9ine's case, even writing begging for her man to receive leniency. Hell, Jade is out here doing so much for her man. I'm surprised she didn't just cover her whole body in tattoos, get locked up in the same jail and just try to bust 6ix9ine out of some Michael Schofield shit. Anyway, it's safe to say that Jade truly did a lot to hold 6ix9ine down while he was in jail, fully proving her loyalty to him and her value as a bad thing worth holding down on herself. But of course, unlike 6ix9ine, Jade herself has a bit of a dark past. And so, only months before she was swept off her feet by the Prince Charming clown, she was allegedly getting the wrong kind of attention from another rapper you might know. Of course, I'm talking about this explosive alleged affair with Cardi B's man and one-third of Amigos, Offset. Now, I'm going to be very careful about what I say in this video, because Cardi B appears to have a habit of suing YouTube. In fact, from here on out, you're probably going to hear the word allegedly so many times it's going to lose all meaning. In January of 2018, Cardi B and Offset fall out over cheap proof. Offset was rumoured to have been getting slippery with other ladies. Supposedly showed him engaging in a saucy act with another woman. One in December 2017 showing a fine-ass babe walking clothesless through his hotel room, and another in January of 2018 appearing to show him getting a little sloppy coffee.
Tell me what y'all think. Is that Offset in a different broad? Come on! He's telling her to put it in her mouth, basically.
Now, initially, Cardi B and Offset tried to deflect this bad publicity by making a few raunchy social media videos of their own, and thankfully for them, they eventually got over this road bump in their relationship and continued killing it like the super couple they are. But behind the scenes, as 2018 reared on, these infidelity rumors continued to swirl. Apparently in June, Offset had been seen with Jade and All Bad G, and at this point, fans began to speculate. And as more lavish pictures of Jade began to surface on the internet, many people began to theorize the official scientist. Now, Cardi B clapped back at these allegations publicly, calling them fake drama, as did Offset. But allegedly, behind the scenes, Cardi B was looking to get even with Offset's supposed side chick. And allegedly, she wasn't scared to get her homies involved either. Jade claimed that Cardi had been threatened personally, with NBC New York reporting that other people had approached Jade and her sister to say that Cardi B was sending someone to F them up, and allegedly threats were not followed. Because, allegedly, in June, Cardi confronted both of them at an Atlanta hotel and accused Jade of sleeping with Offset before threatening her. Then, on October 2018, the first of two physical altercations take place in the club where Jade and Baddie G are working at the time. Now, this incident was later described in a detailed indictment that came out in February 2020, which alleged at least 6 members of the 5'9 Brims met at that club. The 5'9 Brims, of course, being a sect of the Blood Gang, which Cardi B openly admitted being a member of in this April 2018. See, I didn't need to say allegedly that time, did I? Anyway, allegedly, 2 people in this blurred crew ordered a drink from the intended target before gesturing to the board. Once she did, they grabbed her and brutally hit her. One of them, who's actually a man, apparently filmed the attack, and allegedly, Cardi and a bottle hitting Jade in the face, causing injuries. And furthermore, according to the indictment, after the attack went down, the video that was filmed was sent to the 5'9 Brim Blood godmother who was in jail at the time, Star Brim, aka Yonette Respar, who had allegedly been responsible for ordering the attack from jail on behalf of Cardi B. But allegedly, Star Brim and Cardi weren't satisfied with the ferocity of this attack, going on to discuss whether another attack would take place and stolen up around 2 weeks later, the same crew attacked the same bartenders at the same club. Allegedly, of course. On August the 29th, 2018, the Angel Strip Club really goes off a form. And allegedly, once again, Cardi and the 5 in the house. Apparently with intentions to hit him with a left, hit him with a right, knock that pussy out, you might find it. Imagine this, right? Your husband's got a concert at a club, and you've heard the rumours that he's been sleeping around with the bartender at that club. Doesn't sound like it's going to end well, does it? And allegedly, Cardi B has faced off with the sisters at some point in the evening before directing her posse to attack. And allegedly, the crew of thugs that Cardi was rolling with sprung into action, grabbing Jay by her hair once again, punching and slapping her as well as throwing chairs in the club. TMZ reported that bottles were thrown and the victim sustained serious injuries that required medical attention. And TMZ had even reported that allegedly Cardi had shouted during the altercation, "I'm blood, I'll fuck you bitches up." That is not going to look good on the old racketeering charge, but anyway. According to NBC News, surveillance footage of Cardi throwing an ice bucket to Sandy, along with footage of the earlier fight, which were apparently both evidence against her. It's not ugly. Look. Cardi, at this rate, I would say you're about one reckless Vlad TV interview away from a life sentence. Keep it zipped and stay out of the way. And as more details began to emerge about this alleged incident, it just kept sounding worse and worse. Apparently around 9 people, including the man who was mentioned earlier, was present for both altercations, seemingly backing Cardi in a mismatched brawl against 2 other women. Now apparently Baddie G actually responded in an IG story following this incident, saying that Cardi and her goons pulled up with their coochies out just to throw drinks and didn't even do any damage. Geez, I hope when dressing things to get me, they got their coochies out too. That sounds lit. And from here, it seemed like one of Cardi's female goons took the bait, responding to Baddie G, saying that she was hiding underneath the bar and these 2 went back and forth. While prosecutors in the Southern District must have been salivating at the mouth when they saw that back and forth. From here, it seemed like Cardi's goons asked Baddie G to share her location and her face, which Baddie G really did. Looking good. Anyway, Baddie G denied that sleeping with Offset, perhaps a sly way of saying that she did have something to do with sleeping with Offset. Meanwhile, Offset denied having had anything to do with these super thoughts, and Cardi said that Baddie G was subbing her and that she had duly been blocked. But it would turn out this was not a story that Bardi and her band of beat-down giving bloods could sweep under the rug, because it would turn out that 6ix9ine wasn't the only super snitch. Apparently, after these incidents, both Jade and Baddie G were banned from their workplace because they filed a police report against Cardi specifically. I hope when 6ix9ine found out that his girlfriend was filing a police report, he said, "Baby, I'm so proud of you." But on top of snitching, apparently the girls lawyered up big time, which in turn led to Cardi turning herself in. And of course, in classic Cardi, looking like the Marilyn Monroe of ratchet. Her lawyer said that there was no evidence that she caused anybody anything. Case.
Today she received a summons charging misdemeanors only. We're aware of no evidence that she caused anybody any harm at the club that night. We expect that the matter is going to be resolved expeditiously.
With some sources claiming that she was going with jewelry, but this was all just a spontaneous stuffing caused by somebody who to drink. I'm guessing but anyway, Jade's lawyers were not buying, coming out to say that Cardi continues to threaten them. She's going around thinking her celebrity star status will get her out of this jam. Spectacularly saying it doesn't matter if her name is Cardi B or Carl B, she's still going to be brought to justice. Now, I don't know about you, but I heard that new Carl B album was fine. So, after denying the crime, Carl B walks out of the precinct, potentially unaware that this entire jam is them being the worst decision of her life. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, Baddie G and Jade attempted to prod Cardi as much as they could, befriending her #1 op. In November 2018, Nicki dropped the music video for Good Form with Lil Wayne, and it features both Baddie G and Jade. A photo on Instagram featuring both of those girls on the set of the music video, and it's later reported that Nicki hired these 2 models on purpose just to get at Cardi. Of course, having connected with them through 6ix9ine after the cancelled Mama shoot, where Nicki, Jade, and Baddie would have all met anyway. And Jade continued to align herself with the Queen Nicki, even popping up partying in the club with her on her 36th birthday. And meanwhile, over in Cardi's camp, the drama continues too. By December 2018, Cardi was announcing that she was planning to leave
talk to, and we got a lot of love for each other. Things just haven't been working out between us for a long time, and it's nobody's fault. It's just like, I guess we grew out of love, not together anymore. I don't know, it might take time to get a divorce.
Which to me did kind of seem like camp just for social media attention, and thankfully we now know that they stayed together. But outside of the social media grandstanding, Cardi B. In December 2018, Cardi showed up for a 10th court date after having missed the previous date so she could attend Art Basel. This duly pissed off the judge who had said he was about to issue an arrest warrant. And at that hearing, she was ordered to have no contact with Jade and Baddie G and released without bail. From there, she was seen leaving the courtless and glamorous hallways and getting picked up for Grammy nominations. Of course, in the 2019 Grammys, Cardi B wasn't even a favourite for the award for Best Beat Down. Unfortunately, she lost out to DaBaby, who of course won the award for his iconic beat down and Cam Colton. But little did Cardi know be rocking up in court. Award for the biggest L. Now, Cardi is getting in a sticky situation here, because initially, prosecutors tried to make her a deal, one which Cardi rejected. Now, this deal was a plea offer on the 2 Class A misdemeanor charges, assault and reckless endangerment for apparently throwing his hookah during the fracas. Baby, throw me the hookah. Hey, baby, throw me the hookah. This deal would have seen her plead guilty for the misdemeanor charges, getting her a conditional discharge. Meaning that basically she would face no punishment, but she would have to stay out of trouble for a period of time. The thing is with that, if she gets in trouble again, the judge would have her by the balls, or the box. And so Cardi protested her innocence and turned down the charge. She obviously wasn't feeling giving the judge that much control over her actions. But my gosh, were the feds calling her bluff hard. Because in response to her turning down this deal, the prosecution decided to take evidence to the grand jury, apparently acting on new information discovered during an investigation, leading to a fresh indictment that apparently included a fat stack of 12 charges. This included 2 charges of attempted assault with intent to cause serious physical injury and 10 misdemeanors, including misdemeanor reckless endangerment, assault, criminal solicitation, conspiracy, and harassment. Now, it doesn't seem like this indictment is a because the same thing basically happened twice in a 2-week span. Cardi decided to plead not guilty to all 12 charges, and seemingly frustrated at this strong-arm move from the prosecutor, even admonished TMZ for even reporting on it, releasing a lengthy but since deleted post, calling out Harvey Levin at TMZ as a wrinkly fake-town bitch, and basically being culture vultures. Ooh, she is gonna hate this video, yeesh. And this message was very revealing. In it, she sounded out that she could not believe that she had been to court 6 times for a misdemeanor charge, saying specifically that she thinks the feds are only trying to upgrade these charges because she turned down their deal, and then dropped the juicy nugget of information which I believe is the sole reason that the feds are so hot on her. She said that the prosecutors are talking about she hangs out with gang members. But in response to this, she points to her clean record, private donations, and charity, pointing to one specific instance where he said he was giving the keys to Marlboro after her supposed gang member friend was giving out coke. An apparent reference to her being given the key to the city of Brooklyn after holding a coke drive.
Tell you nothing.
Why you should have told me so I could have like done myself. Cardi, can you hold up the key? Can you give us an
Don't be shy. Didn't actually go any further as far as denying her gang ties, or any of the other allegations of this case, and that post has since been deleted. But the cat was already out of the bag, and I think Cardi's right. The feds don't seem to be looking to hold her account for one naughty night causing a commotion in a nightclub. The feds are trying to give Cardi that Treyway case because of her blood connection. And matters were in no means helped in December 2019 when Jade came out to expose Cardi's husband Offset for apparently DMing her saying that he misses her for real, to which Cardi and Offset quickly sprung into damage control, making a pretty believable case for Offset's Instagram hack.
So as you can see, this guy's Instagram has been hacked.
But before that could even settle down, Cardi's female blood goon, Star Brim, replied to Jade at drop, calling her sister Baddie G a literal hoe, to which Jade replied saying, imagine fighting Fed cases for Offset, but he keeps on DMing me. And in December 2019, Cardi went on an Instagram live rant talking about her upcoming case. First off, saying that the case is only a big deal because 6 months had earlier revealed that Cardi was a 5'9" Brim when he was in court.
It's more than just a court case to us because, you know, the person that has the court case against me is dating a person that brought my name up. Well, prosecutors that he's involved with brought my name up for no reason. Like, I never met Tekashi.
Whoa, 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 don't forget all of that self-snitching you did in speak out after 6ix9ine had mentioned her name, but she also wanted to stay out of it.
Even when this guy mentioned my name in his court date, I wanted to say so much like, why me? Why am I getting brung up? I don't have nothing to do with this. But I didn't say anything. I just put a meme like, I don't know that man, because I just don't know him.
And Cardi says that there's absolutely no reason why Offset would DM Jade. Only days before she was due to go to court to fight a case against her, also revealing for the first time that Cardi was actually recommended to her by Offset.
You really think a nigga's gonna DM a girl that he haven't spoke to out of nowhere, a couple of days before I have court, and a court case that we've been talking about because, you know, he suggested my lawyers and everything. That is ridiculous.
Hope those weren't the same lawyers that TC recommended, eh? And Cardi went on to end the piece with one final hilarious quote, summing up the whole situation with Offset and Jade, saying that Offset might be stupid, but he ain't crazy.
Like, I know niggas is stupid, but niggas ain't fucking crazy.
But of course, some make thought the lady don't protect too much. Because a few months later, Cardi would make a different kind of guest appearance, with her name popping up all over an indictment concerning several of the 5'9" Brim blood gang members. The indictment specifically named and several other 5'9" Brim co-defendants, including Star Brim, real name Yannette Respers. Now, this gang indictment explosively included as one of the counts the assault against Jade and Bandy G in the nightclub under the header Conspiracy to Commit Assault in Aid of Racketeering, specifically saying that this attack had been carried out by the gang members in retaliation for another member of the gang being disrespected, a likely reference to Offset. The indictment goes further to accuse Star Brim of arranging the beatdown from jail, referring to the attack as popping that bottle, and going on to say that the state believed that it was Bush who had ordered a drink from the target, kicking off the assault, which he begun to film as the attack took place. And even more crazy, it was alleged that the video that Bush took was sent to the gang member on behalf of whom Star Brim had ordered the attack, Colby, allegedly, and alleging that from here the members continued to communicate as to whether the attack was enough, and planning the subsequent attack that took place 2 weeks later. But the trouble wasn't over by a long shot, because elsewhere in the indictment, Jeffrey Bush, the male member who allegedly filmed the attack, is identified as the muscle for Cardi B, and she is named by name in reference to the fight in that club. Well, just in case there was any doubt as to how serious this indictment was, alongside that one count of conspiracy to commit assault in the aid of racketeering, what else do you think the 5'9" Brim Bloods have been up to as part of it? Selling 280 grams of crack, and an actual murder of a rival gang member. Yes, people, Cardi B may have actually gone and Treywayed herself. Allegedly. Now, I wouldn't usually cover a case like this until it's completely resolved, but my god, is this an exciting story. I mean, think about it, when Cardi B finally goes to trial, the feds are probably going to be putting a lot of pressure on her to try and take down the real bad guys in this gang. You know, the ones who do murders. So who knows how this thing's going to play out. But I'd like to think that Cardi B can at least appreciate the delicious irony of this situation. I mean, think about it, right? She allegedly orders a bunch of blood gang members to beat up a rival. That rival snitches and ends up taking her to court, and that same rival ends up being the boyfriend of the guy who snitched on a bunch of blood members who he paid to have rivals beaten up. And then you end up in court in the exact same situation he was in. So the universe is just amazing. Anyway, fucking Treyway, or whatever it is, the 5'9". That's the end of the video, but I've got an important announcement for you guys. You have got 24 hours left to get your hand on my limited edition Trap Bear merch. Look at this, baby. We've got the Trap Bear popping off. I probably got sweaty ass back. This pose is a real long pause, but you get the gist. You're getting the merch. So you got 24 hours to cop that, and then it is gone, baby. Head on over to traplaw.com if you want to go and cop one of those. Thank you so much to everybody that has bought one so far. Big thank you to all of the patrons whose names that you can see on screen right now. Appreciate ya. Send me a picture of the merch if you go and buy some at TraplawRoss on Instagram. Traplaw.com to go and cop the merch, or in the merch shelf below. Gang, peace out.
Ha
grew up idolizing Kanye West. Now, when I was a wee boy, my love of Kanye manifested in the form of stripy pink polo shirts. But other, more creative-minded young men listened to Kanye's music throughout the noughties and were inspired to make it. One of these young men was a wheelchair-bound Canadian Degrassi actor by the name of Aubrey Graham, but you might know him better as Drake. After dropping his first ever mixtape, Room for Improvement, in 2006, Drake released his follow-up mixtape, Comeback Season, in 2007. The face says blue steel, but the haircut says I'ma steal your girl. Now, one of the tracks on Comeback Season featured Drake rapping over the Barry Bonds beat, a classic tune from Kanye's Graduation album. This is an early nod to the extent to which Drake was influenced by Kanye's music, and an early hint that he was gearing up to borrow Kanye's source in his future career. Kanye? I never know. Whatever. Anyway, a young Drake's admiration of Kanye West continued in 2009 when he released his debut commercial mixtape, which includes a track called Say What's Real, a remix of Kanye West's Say You Will from his album 808s and Heartbreak. But despite what uncited paragraphs on Wikipedia say, the mixtape's producer, longtime collaborator of Drake's, and the best serving size for a bottle of malt liquor, 40, has actually denied the fact that the mixtape's dark ambient production was mainly influenced by Kanye's 808s and Heartbreak. But when Drake is introduced by MTV, he calls Kanye the most influential musician he has ever had in his life. And obviously, as Drake's star begins to rise, Kanye begins to take notice of this young whippersnapper. And so, with the help of their shared managers, Drake and Kanye meet initially in Hawaii, where Kanye was recording, followed by Kanye attending a Drake show in New York. And as 2009 went on, Kanye continued to sing Drake's praises, shouting out an innocuous Drake lyric about lesbians as his lyric of the year. Then in June, they both appeared on the remix of Digital Girl by Jamie Foxx, and in the music video, we see a sunglasses-laden Drake alongside a painted woman, straight up looking like a Canadian knockoff James Bond film, except in this version, the villain steals your lyrics. But speaking of substandard music videos, in May 2009, Drake had teased that he had a big celebrity name stepping up to direct the music video for his breakout hit, Best I Ever Had. And by July, we find out that that director is Kanye West. Apparently, the idea came out of a studio session that took place between Kanye, Drake, and Big Sean, where Kanye began pitching music video ideas to Drake on the spot, leading Drake to get their mutual manager. While the music video to Best I Ever Had is hardly Citizen Kane, we basically see Drake coaching a bunch of big-titted women. We can do it real, bigger than your natural. But this isn't just any gaggleless braless, big-canned goddesses. They appear to be some kind of high school basketball team that Drake is trying to coach to victory in the finals. And I assume smash. Now, for the record, this music video was filmed in a former Catholic high school, and this is a song about giving girls the best sex they've ever had. I'm sick of people suggesting that Drake is trying to smash young girls. I'm sure this is just an innocent music video about him trying to coach a high school basketball team, right?
Now, when you're out there and they put that D on you, take that D. Take that D like the champions that you are.
Anyway, of course not everyone loved it. The Guardian appeared to be offended by the outright lack of bras in the film, though frankly those were best bits. But regardless of the Guardian thing, Best I Ever Had and its raunchy Kanye-directed music video were a runaway success. And it didn't take long for teenage girls in skimpy basketball outfits all over the USA to be screaming, "You the best I ever had." That song is the lead single of Drake's So Far Gone mixtape, and with Kanye's directorial help, it ended up hitting #2 on the Billboard charts. And that's not all. The track gets nominated for 2 Grammy Awards, Best Rap Solo Performance, ironically beaten by Jay-Z's Death of Auto-Tune, and Best Rap Song, even more ironically beaten by Run the Town by Kanye West, Jay-Z, and Rihanna. But don't worry, that's all just foreshadowing for future fuckery coming later. So now, after the huge success of Best I Ever Had, and his numerous Kanye but not inspired by Kanye songs, Drake was a certified star. And of course, with that success, his alignment alongside Kanye continued. They both appeared on the iconic Posse Cut Forever, alongside Lil Wayne, another basketball court anthem, appearing on the soundtrack of LeBron James' More Than a Game. This one landed at #8 on Billboard and even went 6 times platinum. And all that despite coming with a whack music video that looks like it was filmed at the middle of the mall. Create your own green screen booth. Jay-Z calls Forever the Posse Cut of the record, cementing Drake's place at the very top as worthy to rap alongside Kanye, Eminem, and Lil Wayne on the same song within only about 2 years of even coming into the game. All of that before even releasing a debut album. But speaking of that elusive debut album, as the budding professional and personal relationship between Drake and Kanye begins to progress, Kanye makes the beat and writes the melody for a song that ends up being the track Find Your Love on Drake's first album. And in case you hadn't already had an irony overload, that song was originally written for Rihanna. Frankly, it sounds like it could have even been a bonus track on 808s and Heartbreak, and it's really got 2008 Kanye West creative fingerprints all over it. And so it's very clearly a meaningful song to both Kanye and Drake, considering the importance of that 808s album. So Drake takes Find Your Love for his debut album, Thank You Later, shoots a Jamaican-themed music video for that single. Funnily enough, an early example of the supposed culture vulture that Drake is still accused of to this day. The video for Find Your Love depicts Drake facing off against Movado, who plays a gang leader alongside of Jamaica. They're both in love with the same thing in like some sort of After that music video dropped, Drake actually found himself being criticized by Jamaica's tourism minister for unfairly characterizing their culture with guns, drugs, and poverty. But don't worry, Jamaica, he's still doing that to East London too. So anyway, the Kanye written and produced banger Find Your Love was a certified hit, going to number 5 on Billboard and going down as one of Drake's early classic rock singles. So at this point, Drake's buzz was rising to fever pitch. Everyone was excited for his debut album. Even Kim Kardashian. In fact, remember that because it'll be important later on. So when it's finally in June, we truly see fireworks. Because Drake's debut album, Thank Me Later, sold a whopping 447,000 copies in the first week alone, debuting at number 1 on Billboard. In the space of only a few years, Drake went from a wheelchair-bound nobody in the Canadian music world to a critically acclaimed Billboard hit, with numerous tracks under himself that would go down as high-paying rap classics. And apparently all of his success started to feel threatening. Who actually said in a September 2010 cover story interview that Drake was the only rapper that he had ever felt threatened by. And in a 2013 Juan Epstein podcast, he recounted thinking that Drake had gotten too big after Find Your Love.
And soon as it was too big, it's scary. It's like, I was fine with, writing Find Your Love with Drake on his first thing until it got too big. And that was the moment where I had to adjust and deal with this new energy.
And perhaps this is why Kanye got on the defensive. Following this, we saw a snippet of the classic Kanye song All of the Lights with a performance of Drake, but unusually, he ended up being removed from the final song. Now apparently Drake said that he didn't really feel any type of way about this.
What I wanted to ask you about was All the Lights. Like, we had heard a leak of it and you were on the record, and then the final came out and you weren't on it. Do you know why you weren't on the final version, and do you feel a way about it?
No, I mean, Kanye's creative process is ever changing, I mean, he's one of those guys, we make music differently, I make what comes to me, changing it, whereas Yale changed something 30 or 40 times to get it perfect, and I mean, it to each their own, and the change was to put all those people on it, and I wasn't one of them. That's it's completely okay.
Yeah. But the thing is, from this point on, Drake stopped seeing Kanye West as a mentor or an idol. He felt he had learned what he needed. He began to see Kanye as competition. And so, with that in mind, Drake begins his quest to try to surpass Kanye West in every single way. In September 2010, Drake is seen leaving a nightclub with Kanye West. Drake is Mr. Serial Girl, Kanye is Mr. Serial Project. Because in 2010, we saw Drake in 2 interviews with my uncle, Tim Westwood. Firstly, one where he discusses the prospects of a potential joint album with Lil Wayne.
Talking about me and Wayne. Exactly.
But the next time that Drizzy checked in with the big dog Pitbull, he hinted that perhaps Jay-Z and Kanye West might have pinched that idea from him and Weezy, referring to the upcoming joint album Watch the Throne.
You know that we still gotta do that album.
Yes, you've still got to do that.
Some other guys are coming out with that album too. There's 2 other guys that are coming out together. 2 other rappers that are coming out. I don't know where they got that idea from.
I'm very slow. Could you just break it down a simple please?
I caught women who do
great. Can anybody hold me around this straw, please? Oh, those 2.
So we'll see how that goes.
You mean the older guys?
Oh, I didn't say that.
I did.
They look young to me. in their movements.
Yes, they keep it flexible.
Yes.
So, 2011, the competitive landscape in the hip-hop scene heating up, and in May, the DJ Khaled song I'm On One dropped, featuring a verse from Drake where he says, "I'm just feeling like the throne is for the taking, so I will take it." And although immediately afterwards, Drake denied this, Drake told the source that he wanted to revive Kanye in every way. Now, at the time, this statement doesn't provoke any kind of public reaction from Kanye, and their relationship stays behind the scenes for 2012 and most of 2013. Eventually, in August, Drake brought Kanye out at the OVO Fest, proving that they were on good terms, followed by a little bit of on-mic PDA.
There's been a lot of rappers that came in the game that wasn't able to do something like this for their city.
Kanye actually went on to give Drake credit, saying that him and Jay-Z would have never made Watch the Throne if it wasn't for Drizzy putting on the pressure.
And we wouldn't be able to make the music that we make. Me and Ho would have never made Watch the Throne if this nigga wasn't putting pressure on us like that.
And in response to this, Drake called bringing Kanye out at OVO Fest the most important part of his career, even reiterating the fact that Kanye West is his favorite artist. And many people at the time pointed to this moment as proof that there was officially no beef between Drake and Kanye. Represented the moment that he had surpassed Kanye by bringing him out as a guest to an enormous stadium show in his own city. It's a big power move, and we know no one man should have all that power. Anyway, in August 2013, Drake discussed fixing his relationship with Kanye in a cover interview with Billboard, where he acknowledged that they hadn't spoken in quite some time and tension had built up, but confirming that he likes and respects Kanye and hopes that they get to collaborate more with the fan set. But then jump forward to February 2014, Drake sat down with Rolling Stone for an interview that painted a slightly different picture. He started off by showering praise on Watch the Throne, saying that he wished he'd come up with the song Nigel's in Paris. He reiterated that he is indeed friends with Jay-Z and Kanye West, and downplayed his lines on DJ Khaled's I'm the One as just natural competitors. But then he went on to also kind of diss Kanye by saying that he had incredible bars on his user sound, singling out his Black Healy line, saying that that's his kid They got a pretty bad for that. Anyway, Drake and Kanye kept their distance for the majority of 2014, but at the end of the year, Drake was caught on tape talking about being mad that Kanye wouldn't give him beats anymore because he was competitive.
And Kanye. That phone call you just had this out. The fact that I didn't want to make it tonight to attack me, you told me some whole other shit the other day
But you know that's not why I feel that way. If he wasn't working on his own project, deposit 5 coins. He should give me, you know,
we coming out of that album. He don't want you to live. Let's say this is a competition.
5 coins.
This is it. We love each other.
Please deposit 5 coins.
You know what I'm saying? He's just out there admitting, look.
I love him. He's an idol to me.
You know what I'm saying? It's competition, though, you know? It's competition. It's his ego. It's competition.
Meanwhile, Kanye was ranting on stage, referencing Drake's earlier interviews, suggesting that magazines had been trying to pit them against each other. But overall, still trying to be positive.
I keep on talking about Drake and shit, and I'm gonna tell you what it is in the magazines. They always be trying to pit niggas against each other, and that ain't going down no more.
And by February 2015, it seems like they're back on track. Drake brought Kanye out to a show at Irving's Plaza, where apparently Kanye gave him shoes. And then a week later in his breakfast service, Kanye said that the came from Drake, and that at one point that was actually the title of their joint album.
The Wolf song came from a conversation that me and Drake had where we was gonna do an album together, and the album is called Wolf. Yeah, so, and that's what happened. Me and Jay started talking about Watch the Throne, and Drake went and did all the records with Wayne and did the tour, and we never did it. But I just went out and put it in the ether. I put it out in the world. Yeah, I asked him, and we talked about it, and he said, yeah, we was gonna do it. And actually, you know, he was sending beats back and forth. And, you know, I got this one record with Young Thugs that I think he's gonna put on Rihanna album.
And not long after that, Kanye admitted in another interview that he felt Drake was a good sparring partner.
I look at Drake as like an amazing sparring partner. You know, someone's like, come on, man, get back up. Bow, get back up. What's up? What's up, bro? What you doing? Because, you know, you sit there, I was sitting there getting fat, you know, some guy just knocked everybody out. And this guy hits the gym, he's just like running around. I got 14 hits. My name's Paul McCartney. I'm like, well, okay. Let me go to the studio then. Let's see what's happening. Let me get these lyrics up. Let me see what's happening. So that's where you're at right now. That's where you're getting these records from.
So clearly they remained on good terms throughout mid-2015. They were seen partying together on March 7th. birthday bash in Atlanta, and indeed probably the only time we're going to see some positive beef popping off between Drake and Kanye. Ye even appeared to be I heard Kanye's the most controlling barbecue chef since XXXTentacion. Anywho, Kanye returned to Drake's OVO Fest in 2015, seemingly on good terms. But then out of nowhere, on December 31st, 2015, Kanye drops the track Back, a song where he celebrates getting his Adidas deal and dropping a lyric where he says that if Nike didn't have Drizzy, they would have nothing. Ironically following that up with another line saying that if Nike didn't have Don C, they would also have nothing. Which is it, Kanye? No, you know what, Kanye, you're actually right. If Nike didn't have Drake, Don C, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Rafael Nadal, Derek Jeter, LeBron James, Maria Sharapova, and Cristiano Ronaldo, they wouldn't have nothing. But anyway, all of this moving like Drizzy Keemstar. Because a few weeks later, Drake popped off publicly, dropping his 2016 anthem Summer 16, which of course featured the iconic line, "Now I got a house in LA, and I got a bigger pool than Ye. And look man, Ye's pool is nice, mine's just big as one." A fact which was even confirmed by internet sleuths. But of course Kanye West, the ever-before man, had a very level-headed response when somebody pressed him on the song.
Let me ask you this and keep this 1,000 Kanye. Is Drake's pool really bigger than yours, Kanye?
I have 3 pools.
Alright.
That's it. That's all.
Okay. 3 pools, ladies and gentlemen. Man, Kanye said he got 3 pools.
Exactly, Kanye. I actually said the same thing to my own well. It's not the size that matters, it's how many homies you can tap in, alright? No. But anyway, that wasn't enough Kanye compensating for you. Only a week later did the media discover that Kanye had set plans into motion to build an enormous lake in the yard of his house, hopefully big enough for him to swim in all of his insecurities. You literally can't make this shit up, can you? So on the 14th of February, Kanye drops the mic, and it turned out that Drake actually worked as a ghostwriter on the track's 40 hours and found, ironically, the same song that was roasting Drake's mic deal. And it's actually a month after that, featuring Drake actually entered the league. At this point, you can see they're still working. So cool envy aside, they can go. Those good times solidified in April 2016 when Drake releases the song Pop Style featuring The Throne. In this case, The Throne, of course, being Jay-Z. The same song, a la The Throne. But when this song eventually released on Drake's album, both Kanye and Jay-Z's verses had been removed, leading many to speculate that the beef was a front. Kanye actually cleared things up himself in an on-stage rant, suggesting that it was actually him and Jay-Z's decision to get off the song, which they did out of respect to Meek Mill, who Drake had been dealing with at the time.
Then Jay thought about it out of respect to Meek Mill, so he wanted to be on the track. I wasn't on this song for the
And Drake eventually clarified that there was no hard feelings for what went down over that song, as we saw in an interview with Zane Lowe.
Jay and Kanye are on it or are not on it?
I just ended up going. Really, I just was trying to get Ye on it at first, and Ye just sent it to me like that. Like, yo, Jay kind of just did my first few lines, and he was just here, and that's how we, collected it.
And finally, after this same Zane Lowe interview with Awkward jams directed at Kanye.
How big does a pool have to be these days in order for it to get?
That was really just like some friendly neighbor bars. Me and Kanye, I take pride in being Kanye's neighbor. I take pride in our little community of Calabasas, and it was just me poking fun at living up the street from him, and never any disrespect intended. It was supposed to make people laugh.
Pool,
yeah,
come on, how deep are we gonna go?
Yeah,
here?
exactly. Yeah, it's like.
Sounds like he has a nice pool.
He has a phenomenal pool. He has a phenomenal house. Don't ever get it twisted. His pool is like, it's got to be like half a football field or something. But mine was
yours is a football field.
Well, mine was just designed to like outdo Hugh Hefner's pool, and I succeeded.
And Drake even gave a little bit more juicy about their relationship. Drake saying that sometimes they just turned up at each other's house.
We live up the street from each other, so on any given night, I've been in my room like just came from training, working out, and they come to my room and like, Ye's in the kitchen with your mom because he's here to work or vice versa. I'll pull up at his house and see what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go not see it.
One of my favorite people. I just really have I love Ye, man. He's a really, really good guy. Obviously grew up with him as a role model. I've always given him that credit, and he's part of the reason that I'm even here right now. Open doors for us.
Oh, and he also teased the fans suggesting that they might be doing a mixtape together.
We had plans, but we were supposed to do a mixtape together, an album together. So maybe we'll do it.
And the rumors of a joint project between Drake and Kanye were even more serious when Kanye mentioned it on stage at the 2016 OVO show.
Don't be shy. What my brother was asking you before was, are you ready if we make an album? That's what he was asking you. One more time, my brother.
And I've got to point out that immediately after this, Kanye lowered himself off the stage through a trap door on some Prince shit. I mean, this shit just made me laugh. It looks like he's being fed into a shredder and he's going to be turned into clout burgers. It was actually that same month, August 2016, that Kanye tweeted out the word glow, which turns out was a reference to the recording of a joint song between the two of them called Glow, but actually ended up on Drake's More Life album releasing the following year. That song actually had a lyric in it referencing Calabasas as the new Abu Dhabi. I mean, it makes sense, you know, Drake's good at stealing girls too. But on top of the onstage and Twitter-fingered speculation, it seems like Drake and Kanye were taking steps to promote this possible joint project. Billboards even popped up with that Abu Dhabi lyric, alongside OVO and Good Music logos, their respective labels, convincing many that this joint album was indeed a done deal. The next day, Kanye even played Pop Style live and asked crowds if they were ready for this album. Yes, Kanye, we are ready, just put the goddamn thing in my ears. And in November, Drake continued teasing the fans, posting a picture of him and Yeezy together with the caption, "There goes the neighborhood." But unfortunately, later on that same month, Kanye West would begin to unravel. When he was on the Sacramento leg of his St. Pablo tour, he launched into an iconic rant walking off stage after just 3 songs. And in that rant, he actually dissed DJ Khaled and Drake for getting too much airplay for their song for free, going as far as to accuse them of paying for the exposure.
Is it just me? But did you hear that song so many times you seen when I paid it for free?
And within 2 days of this footage emerging, Kanye West had been hospitalized for exhaustion and had cancelled the rest of his tour. Really, this was his famous mental breakdown, or mental breakthrough as he prefers to call it, considered by some to have been triggered by the anniversary of his beloved mother's tragic passing. Considering the context of Kanye's mental health, it's understandable that Drake didn't initially respond to this jab. But when Drake was once again being interviewed on OVO Sound by legendary British DJ Semtex in February 2017, Drake said that he was perplexed. How did he go from working with Kanye on a project 1 minute to getting publicly dissed by him on stage the next? And going on to say that he didn't respect Kanye's criticism at all.
On the Pablo tour, you know, he said a lot of things that's well documented, but he was also saying about, you know, before the last show, he was talking about how he was sick of not being able to do certain things or whatever, and he was saying everyone should just come together and make music.
I'm not really sure what he's referring to half the time, you know, because in the same breath, I mean, you know, I went from being like working on a project with him to him sort of like publicly on me and DJ Khaled for being on the radio too much, you know. I accept it, I don't respect it at all.
And whilst they had previously elaborated on their relationship positively on that joint track Glow from More Life, at this point it seemed like Drake and Kanye's joint album was firmly shelved. Yet another unfortunate casualty of Kanye's unfortunate mood swings and or mental health issues. And perhaps in another universe, things would have been left at that. Drake and Kanye could have lived happy and separate lives, making hits, not stepping on each other's toes and not out for each other's blood. But that wouldn't be possible, thanks to one man named Pusha T.
The grandest of feelings.
Fairmont.
Follow your adventures with the rugged power of Honda, the most fuel-efficient full-line automaker in America. Hurry in to a local Honda dealer where new vehicles are arriving daily.
According to Drake in an interview on LeBron James's The Shop, Drake and Kanye were on good terms and working on music together, with Kanye originally sending Drake the Lift Yourself beat to work on.
He played me like this.
He played you a beat, right?
He played me Lift Yourself, and he was like, yo, you can have this if you want. And I was hype, I started writing to it, and then he was like, yo, you gotta come to Wyoming.
So Drake and his producer homie 40 get invited to Wyoming to work on music with Kanye. And apparently 40 went to Kanye's famous ranch in Wyoming a day early, and the vibe was completely off.
So Wyoming happened, and 40 went to Wyoming early. And he was like, man, I'm here a day early, man, something's off. He's like,
felt it?
40 said that. Yeah, he's like, this guy's working on an album, man.
The problem was, it seemed like he went under the pretense that they were going there for Kanye to work on Drake's album, Scorpion, that was about 60% finished at this point, without realizing that they had actually been drafted out there to work on Kanye's music.
And I told him when I
How
was
much of
dropping,
Scorpion did you have done by then?
maybe like 60% or something.
Got it.
He's like, this guy's working on an album, man. And I was like, for real?
Because he hadn't announced it yet.
He just told me he wanted to work on, like, he just told me he wanted to give me beats, and he said he wasn't dropping till like October, November, or something like that. And I'm like, it's all good. Let's just go and let's see what it's about.
But regardless, Drake still went out there, where he indeed did end up spending the majority of the time working on Kanye's music.
So I went and, you know, ended up pretty much spending majority of my time working on his music, like just trying to like cook up ideas for him, you know? I was out there and I spent all my time pretty much working on his stuff.
We later found out that this specifically included writing the hook for the track Yikes, in my opinion the only good song on Ye, just saying. A ghostwrite which didn't even come with credit initially until Ebro later read it out. The thing is, Drake actually claims that whilst he was there, Kanye was being very personal and prying into his private life.
You gotta be transparent with me, and you gotta play me your music, and you gotta tell me when you're dropping, and I know you don't like to do things like that. And so, you know, I was in the studio. I guess, you know, we all kind of felt a genuine vibe from it. So I played him my music, and I told him when I was dropping. By the way, I'm in Wyoming. I play him March 14th. I send him a picture of my son.
Oh, my God.
I tell him I'm having trouble with my son's mother. We had a conversation. I shared my...
So Drake tells Kanye about his secret love child, which most of the world doesn't know about at this point. Though I do want to say, just for the record, TMZ and a few other celebrity gossip outlets had reported on a Drake paternity suit rumor long before Pusha T had ever rapped about it. Y'all just weren't paying attention. But more importantly, whilst there, Drake tells Kanye that he is planning to release his Scorpion album in June. And so later on in the year, on April 16th, Drake announces to the public that he's going to release Scorpion in June. And then coincidentally, 3 days later, Kanye announces his Ye project dropping June 1st. This came along with a cavalcade of other release dates from Kanye's Good Music label. And this, of course, included Pusha T's album Daytona. Now, I'm going to stay away from the core of the Drake-Pusha T beef, but if you do want that video from me, you're going to have to run up my Twitter, baby. So follow me over on Twitter, @TrapLawRoss. Drop me a follow and drop me a tweet saying that you want me to do the Drake-Pusha T video. And if I hit 10K followers on Twitter, I'll do it for the gang. So Kanye and the whole Good Music team seem to be stepping on Drake's release date, and he confirmed himself that he was kind of annoyed about this when he appeared on the shop.
I wake up and all these dates are out one by one by one, all around June 15th, by the way. One's May 31st, one's June, whatever.
But then even more explosively, Drake says that while he was texting Kanye, supposedly on good terms, out of nowhere the song Lift Yourself releases, featuring vocals from Kanye West screaming poopity scoop all over that beat that Drake wanted.
Then the next 2 days, whatever, I wake up now to this text from him, passive, like, sends me to something I did, yo, I love you, brother. Lift Yourself comes out with him just talking nonsense. I'm like, oh,
Scooby poop that round, yeah.
Oh, this guy's trolling. This guy's trolling me. Yeah, he's oh, this was like a manipulative, like, I want to break you thing. So I said, all right, I'm gonna go back to distancing myself again.
And so at this point, Drake takes a step back from Kanye's Drake. But then before anything can even calm down, Kanye West produced an album that includes the track Infrared, a direct diss aimed towards Drake. Now, long story short, this song was a reply to an earlier Drake song called Two Birds, One Stone, ironically also produced by 40, with a drum sample courtesy of Kanye West. Ironic when that track itself was actually going at two of Kanye's label mates, Kid Cudi and Pusha T, specifically not Kid Cudi's mistake and questioning Pusha T's dope dealing credentials. Pusha T chose his song Infrared opportunity to counter these claims, along with some other sharp bars and he went at Drake for ghostwriting, on a similar basis to what Eminem did with Drake. Goes by 64 now. Anyway, Drake was positively baffled as to how Kanye let somebody go so hard on him on one of his beats when they had seemingly just been on good terms.
This song towards me. Talking about writing?
I'm writing for you.
I was just there with you as friends, helping you, and now you're dissing me. So I'm like, man, this is dark. You know, this is dark.
Damn, he must have forgot that he had dissed Pusha T over a Kanye beat to begin with. So the very same day that Daytona and that diss track Infrared dropped, Drake snapped back quick time with his Duffy freestyle, a brilliantly smooth response that seemed to be more focused at putting down Kanye than Pusha T. He of course rebuffed those ghostwriting allegations, saying that if anything, he is the one that changed his ghostwriter Quentin Miller's life, and that if Quentin Miller has no hits, Drake is really the one help with Quentin. I mean, the song's opening line says that if you rebuke Drake for working collaboratively with Quentin Miller, then what is he supposed to think of Kanye, who has seeked Drake's ghostwriting help in the past? Pointing out that he popped style and let him repeat for 30 hours. Of course, a reference to Drake's ghostwriting on the song 30 Hours. And of course, Pop Style, the song that he had taken Jay-Z and Kanye off of. As well as going on to say that he could never have a Virgil in his circle and hold him back because he makes him nervous. A reference to Kanye's fractured relationship with fellow fashion buddy Virgil Abloh, who reportedly had Kanye seething with jealousy when he landed the creative director job at Louis Vuitton.
I felt bad. I felt like it was supposed to be me. I was the Louis Vuitton Don. People still call me the Louis Vuitton Don when I'm walking down the street.
At the end of the song, Drake says to Pusha, "Tell Ye we got an invoice coming to you, considering we just sold another 20 for you." So devilish Pusha T, knowing what was about to come, retweeted the song Duffy and asked Drake to send the invoice, which he did, actually posting a $1,000 invoice to Instagram directed to Pusha and Kanye's good music. Apparently with payment due for promotional assistance for Greenwood. Damn, I'm gonna need to start invoicing rappers too. Anyway, this was a good little burn and a social media W for Drake. But he wouldn't be laughing for long, because Drake, having used this opportunity to really skewer Drake and Kanye, didn't realise that a nuclear grade L was headed his way. And that was what hit him a fan, because as we all know, Pusha T then humiliated Drake with devastating diss track Story of Abidon, giving it a spicy cover art by Justin Trudeau. The story of Abidon, as we all know, was famous for everybody's minds at this point was, where did Pusha T get this info? Of course, we can remember Drake telling LeBron and the gang on the shop that Kanye made Drake be transparent with him about his son when he went to record with him in Wyoming, alluding to the fact that Kanye was probably the source of the info. So when the story of Abidon dropped, it seemed like Drake had squarely pointed the finger at Kanye. Though to me, this always made no sense in some of because Drake spent so much of his life dissing Kanye. And so why would you go so hard for Kanye's neck when you know that he's potentially damaging information on you? Now, Kanye himself denied being responsible for the leak.
So you didn't get Pusha T the information?
No, I didn't. But
Okay.
what, like, don't pull me to this conversation. Like, I'm Ye. I got major things to do.
Ye there, apparently. Also in this interview with 107, Drake, saying that it had been insensitive of him to stress Kanye out when he was recovering from his mental breakthrough in Wyoming.
We understand that he was he got upset about it. I feel that it was insensitive for him to in any way stress me out anyway after TMZ while I'm in Wyoming healing.
Also weirdly mentioned Drake sending him purple demon emojis. I mean, to be honest, what purple demon emojis are great. I wasn't know if he was planning to hurt me, but these ominous purple demons apparently prompted Kanye to think that this beef was going beyond rap, something that was not of interest.
You know, Drake is a person who loves Kanye, loves everything I ever did. You're supposed to be protective of that person at all costs and make sure, like, bro, are you good? You know what I'm saying? It's like not about being selfish, like, I wanted to be on the lift yourself feed and I wasn't on it, so now I'm mad at you, so now I'm saying, you know, purple demon emoji. I had to ask, what is purple demon emoji mean? Right. And then when I found out what it meant, I started thinking about my family. Right. And I'm not calling nobody to do nothing and all that stuff, because then I gotta owe that person. And I got all these people on my payroll and da-da-da and all that stuff, and I don't, you know, I don't do that. I make beats.
Immediately after this, Drake shared another seemingly mocking Kanye's interview and maybe suggesting that he was indeed planning to hurt Kanye or just fuck him. But clearly there was no love lost between these two, because 2 months before, Kanye had also echoed this sentiment in the track Make No Mistake from his Ye album, dropping the line "Too close to snipe you," a reference to only looking down the street from Drake, going on to say "Too rich to fight you," and finally down, pointing out his light skin, a reference worth remembering for later. Anyway, it would turn out that the Kanye leaked my love child narrative might be much more forgiving than the truth, because Pusha T later appeared on the Toe Budden podcast, disputing everything Drake said on the show and kind of shitting on the
Let's just start with the shot, since we here already. The way that he would alley-oop those questions to Drake were like nuts. Like, it was nuts. And on top of that, it was very biased. And you didn't even try to camouflage the biasness. It's okay. But I don't disagree. You know.
But it's not just the biased questions that make Drake good, because Push felt that the way that they interviewed Drake is what allowed him to change and twist the narrative and make it seem like Kanye was responsible for it. A claim which Push disputes.
And I just don't like how the narrative is not true. It may make sense in Drake's mind that, oh, Ye told Push about my son and my situation. I was in Wyoming. Right? Wrong. Didn't happen like that.
Yes, Pusha says Kanye is not the person that gave him the info. Instead, putting the psychological boot into Drake one last time, suggesting that Drizzy had actually been betrayed by his day one homie, 40, who leaked the information about Drake talking to an untrustworthy chick.
The information came from 40. It didn't come from Kanye. 40 is sleeping with a woman who begins to, you know, he talks to her daily, 5-6 hours a day.
Oh, she must have a great personality.
Yeah, bruh. With that also came the fact that Drake has a child.
This is frankly an explosive allegation, and one we've naturally not heard a squeak about from the OVO side. Now, maybe Pusha T is just covering for his man Kanye and trying to protect him, and in the process putting more doubt in Drake's mind about his own team, a further act of disrespect. Or then again, maybe Drake is doing the very same thing, pointing the finger at Kanye to cover his boy, or simply just choosing to believe it was Kanye because he can't possibly process that it was his day one boy that let him down. Hey, maybe he needs some new friends, new. Anyway, this isn't a Pusha T versus Drake video, this is a Kanye versus Drake video. And the fact is, the story of Adidon drop, Drake gets publicly humiliated to a scale that the music industry never thought possible. All of the fans of Pusha T and Kanye's good music empire. And this left many fans waiting for a savage reaction. But what do we get? A fat old OVO Drake has never responded to the story of Adidon on wax. But here's the most pathetic thing of all. Because rather than just fall back and gobble down that L, just like Meek Mill had had to do before him, just like that kid in 8th grade who's a compulsive liar whose granddad apparently killed Hitler, Drake came out after the beef and recorded a diss song so savage, so potentially devastating to Kanye's career that he did the right thing by never releasing it. Oh, come on, Drizzy, pull the other one. What's next? You finally found a girlfriend to settle down with, she just goes to another school and we can never meet her? Apparently it was actually Drake's little Houston sugar daddy, Jay Prince, who told Drake not to release this alleged career-ending track after a supposed courtesy call to Kanye West. Jay Prince even alleged that this diss was so savage that it would have ruined Kanye's life, and maybe even Drake's too. And there was even a rumor that Lil Wayne was involved.
Is Drake taking your advice because the rumor is he already has a song and Lil Wayne is involved?
Well, I don't know about Lil Wayne, but he definitely was cocked and loaded, and he definitely was ready to fire. I would say this, you know, because me and Kanye had spoke. I don't think he would mind me stating we had a conversation. This could have been a career-ending situation where he concerned, and it also could have damaged, I think, a whole lot of livelihood of people.
When Kanye's career would have been over.
Well, for sure, I feel like he would have been twisted with this one. Wouldn't have been good for Pusha either.
Now, digging a little closer, I Jay Prince is probably just doing a bit of clout chasing like his son does. Because while Jay Prince was jumping from interview to interview, spilling the beans on how he had single-handedly saved Kanye's career from the wrath of Drake, he also conveniently managed to use this scandal as an opportunity to shift his new foot.
How do you feel about this Pusha T beef that's going on right now? You know
this guy is being disrespectful. You know what I mean? My book is called The Art and Science.
Now, in his defense, Drake at least denied the rumors that this Adidon response was just
And when I was making the record in response, which was a real record, I know people think it's like some myth. It was like on the finals beat, and I just found myself saying things that like one seemed really out of character, just because I was like deeply invested in the situation and getting very angry. And saying things that I don't know if in 2 years I'd want to hear myself say.
And he also told LeBron in the shop that he did record the song, but what it was going to do to Kanye was so bad it wasn't something he wanted to be remembered for.
You wrote the song and never put it out.
Yeah, because I got home and I just listened back to it and I was like, man,
This is not something I ever want to be remembered for.
Damn, Drake, it must have been bad if you'd prefer to be remembered for this. And also, while we're there, let me just drop this clip in, because it basically sums up my own personal opinion on this mythical career-ending diss.
Oh, I made this record that was gonna injure. No, you fucking didn't. You believe that. I don't believe that.
No, I said I believe he had recorded a record.
Alright, fine, but let's play Drizzy's advocate for a second. This hypothetical, devastating, career-ending diss track is supposedly so bad because it's rumored to be alleging that Drake had an affair with Kanye's wife, Kim Kardashian West. But no evidence for this theory existed when the story of Adidon was released. But the thing is, from that point on, after being savagely embarrassed in front of the whole world, Drake begun dropping what was perceived as sneaky lyrics that alluded to something having gone on between him and Kim, with the main pieces of evidence being his lyrics on the song Sicko Mode with Travis Scott, and of course that questionably chorus banger, Kiki, do you love me? Now, the affair between Drake and Kim nearly came up in that Pusha T interview we looked at earlier, and it was a slightly uncomfortable moment.
I don't want you actually saying my wife's name. I don't. Somebody might misconstrue that with you actually her or something like that. I'm not with that. We're not gonna play with that.
Which is the same confusion that's going on currently with Kanye.
Which I ain't got nothing to do with nobody else's
Neither do
wife.
I.
Right.
Push also said rather ominously that Drake was dead wrong for what he did to Kanye.
He's wrong for one. He's wrong for one. One he's wrong for. The second one, it will wear it all. This guy will wear it. What's up? The other one, he wrong for that. He dead fucking wrong.
But Pusha T wasn't the only person who Drake had insinuated something had happened with Kim. Nick Cannon also had an explosive appearance on DJ Struggle, where DJ Academics put this story forward.
I think Drake smashed Kim K. No cap.
Come on, man. Let's stay on topic.
Nick insinuated that he felt something fishy had gone on between Drake and Kardashian.
There's something that Drake holds over that whole family that he like, y'all don't want me to let this out.
Now, there's certainly plenty of evidence for a long-term connection between Drake and the Kardashians. As far back as 2013, we saw the Kardashians hosting both Drake and Kanye West for dinners at their house, and Drake has been pictured with numerous members of the Kardashians. After Kylie Jenner's birthday bash, Drake spoke about spending time with the Kardashians.
Are you part of the Kardashian family right now? Did you perform at Kylie's birthday? You've been there?
I'm just a friend. I really like Kylie a lot. I really like Kendall. You know, everybody's really nice. Chloe's really nice. And obviously, you know, the queen of it all, Chris, is like, she's my favorite. That's like...
Oh, while we're there, he also dropped this clanger.
You know, you talk to a lot of girls like, oh, modeling, acting. I like to hear,
Well, okay, what girls are you talking to?
No, but I'm saying I like to hear about, like, school.
You know, school, like girls who are still the age to go to school. No, I'm done making fun of Drake and young girls. There's no evidence to support those claims. See, here he is just trying to innocently kick Kylie Jenner out of his birthday. Nothing untoward going on here. Anyway, Drake is known to live nearby in the Hidden Hills area of Calabasas, just up the street from the Kardashians. So it's clear that for the longest time, Drake has indeed had his feet at the Kardashian dinner table. But an affair with Kim is a bold claim, and a lot of people were asking, where is the actual evidence? Well, one of the most comprehensive pieces of media supporting the affair comes courtesy of a bumper thread on Twitter by some guy named Ty Morris, who at the end of 2018 all of the specific evidence suggesting Drake was in bed with some of it's very convincing. For example, it suggests that Drake's deposit is directed towards a theory also supported by Nick Cannon.
Drake was subliminally saying some shit. Like,
8 out of 10. Everybody go like 8 out of 10 on Drake's Scorpion album. Your trainers listen to me. Your wifeys listen to me. Like, he's something. He's naming a bunch of shit.
He's saying
shit. All Calabasas stuff.
And only Kanye knows. He's like, if this nigga come out and say this, it's over for all of us.
8 out of 10 starts with the line, who rich for who? Y'all just got rich again. Likely a reference to Kanye's lyric in the Ye track. Make no mistake, where we saw him say that he was Drake. But that's not all. Elsewhere on 8 out of 10, Drake dropped more ambiguous bars that seem firmly directed at Kanye. Commenting in a stinging line saying that his sister, trainer, songs, and that your wifey is perhaps doing something more. Now, that is definitely a plausible reference, but it doesn't necessarily provide any proof that Drake and Kim have had an affair beyond sneak disses that are probably just meant to mess with Kanye's head. Another tidbit that is really a little bit of a reach is Drake's captions on Instagram, apparently referencing captions Kim had made on her page before. Not sure Ray J would say you're shy, Kim, but anyway. Now that Twitter thread goes on to contribute Drake's famous hook from the song In My Feelings, maybe a reference to Kardashian, the evidence of which is numerous examples of Kim being referred to as the family and herself, combined with the fact that she used the nickname Kiki for a shade of lipstick in her own range alongside the names Kim, Kimmy, and Kimberly. Apparently they discontinued the Kim couple name. But regardless, this theory is generally considered to be kept. It's widely believed that Kiki was actually the early pre-fame girlfriend of Kiana Barber, a dancer from Oakland who has also been rumored to have been a love interest of Drake's. Now, you know what? While we're making wild speculations, I personally believe that the Kiki Drake lusts after is just Keith from The Office, the British Office. So again, certainly inconclusive proof of an affair, but certainly proof of Drake making ambiguous lines, likely to be perceived as sneak dissing with malicious intent. Now, we already know that Academics is definitely convinced by this theory that Drake we know this was his appearance on He said that he's heard from multiple sources that Drake did indeed make a Kanye diss that would have ruined Ye's life, with something which he described with an ominous reference to Kanye being a
And of course, there's a lot of close sources saying, we heard a diss track. And a diss track, if it was dropped, would ruin Kanye West's life. Kanye West is a family man, and if this shit dropped, Kanye West, the exact quote I heard, he would jump off a building. Now, me, being someone who could make an educated guess, man, the only person Kanye West cares about with himself is his wife. So, clearly, there's something about his wife. What the fuck could Drake have with his wife? What the fuck, okay? Now, the most obvious thing to me, Drake, donkey fucked his wife. That's all. That's what I'm thinking, okay?
Drake made his iconic appearance on Behind Bars on the British rap platform Link Up TV. An amazing